Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast. I'm Becky and I can be found as Becky Burns Gibson on Pinterest, Instagram, and Ravelry. So I will start this podcast with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Vogue 8577. The fabric is Cobra Corsage by Lady McElroy. It's in cotton lawn, and it's also lined with cotton lawn, also by Lady McElroy. I purchased this material at Stone Mountain and Daughters website. It's an excellent pattern. It's got big pockets. You can fit keys of your phone, maybe even a wallet in there. So I got it to fit wonderfully. What I did was I traced a size 22. I graded up to a 48-inch bust and a 46-inch waist for a total of 47.5 inches total finished waist. Then I added 5/8 an inch to both center fronts, and I removed 5/8 of an inch right here so that it will have a more flattering waistline. I sewed 3/8 inch seam allowances for the side vertical seams and 5/8 inch seam allowance for all horizontal seams and center back. So I was prolific about finishing objects over the past few months, but I gave so many of them away as gifts. I don't have them anymore to show, but I do have a few that I kept just for myself. And the first one I'm going to show you is the reading room cardigan. It's called the reading room cardigan, but it's really not much of a cardigan. It's really more like a coat. Here's the way the photo looks. The reading room cardigan pattern is by Susan Haviland, and it can be found on the Line Brands website. I used Line Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick in the color 610 Hudson Bay. I purchased 15 skeins, but I only used 10 skeins, or 870 yards to make this cardigan. So I have 5 skeins left over. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I might make my granddaughter a sweater, or I might just make a cap to go with this. I used a size 13, that's a 9mm needle, to knit this. The next finished object that I have to show you is also a cardigan, and this is one of my most favorite things that I've ever made. It is Let Go by Hoagie Locatelli, and it is published in Interpretations Volume 3. I made a size 3XL. I used a size US 6 needle, which is 4mm, and I used Miss Babs Killington in the Stonewash colorway. And I used 3 skeins, and that made up 2,100 yards. So I learned a lot when I made this cardigan. I probably ripped it back 4 or 5 times in different sections, and I had to learn to trust the pattern. If it said do this, that's really what it meant, or else you have to rip it back again. And it's just an excellent, excellent pattern. I really recommend it. Enjoyed this cardigan a lot. So the next project that I did was the Gloves Up pattern. And Ravelry said that the Gloves Up pattern is by, I don't even want to try to pronounce this, YDUN. But the pattern itself is watermarked the apple basket. And here's a picture of the gloves. And here are mine. So the yarn that I used was Zeolana Performa Kiwi Fingering. I used 2 skeins of that in the colorway 9 Ocean. The fiber is wool, cotton, and brush-tail possum. They ended up looking just like the picture. I'm also working on Jimmy Bean's Wool's Quilt Club. Every month, Jimmy Bean's Wools sends out a skein of yarn and partial patterns. So you end up with a lot of squares and rectangles, and then you sew them together at the end of the year, and you have yourself a blanket. I haven't got farther enough along on it to even show my progress, but it is worth noting that I am working on that blanket for Jimmy Bean's Wool Blanket Club. So most of you know that I also quilt. I purchased this quilting pattern called Irish Thing, and I bought the recommended yardage in different color combinations. Both of my dogs are interrupting, but I don't mind. So my daughter wanted this for her bed, and she picked out the fabric. And this is going to be a queen size quilt. So after I finished my prolific knitting of works in progress, I made a decision to only have 1 pair of socks started at a time. But that didn't last very long. As you can see, I have a basket of socks that I've been working on. There's a theme here. Second sock syndrome on all of them. So this sock, I finished 1 1/2. And it is 100% superwash merino wool. It was a zobber ball, and it doesn't have any nylon in it, so I will not be wearing it in shoes. I will probably be wearing it to sit at my spinning wheel. Here's another Zobber ball. This is a little bit different yarn. It's a single ply. So there's a lot, it's not a very well balanced yarn, but it is 80-20, 20% nylon. So it should wear better. And this is a Peyton's Croy sock yarn. I finished the first sock and getting started on the second. This is a bamboo. Also, let's see, is it a Zobber ball? Yeah, I believe it is a Zobber ball, but it is a bamboo, and it's so soft. I know it's not going to be very hard wearing, so I'll probably not wear these in shoes either. So I guess I'll always have a basket of socks, even though I do have good intentions. I have a spinning project. I was recovering from surgery this year, and I didn't participate in Tour de Fleece, but I am in the middle of a really satisfying spin. So this is wool that I actually saw get shorn from a sheep at a local sheep and wool festival. And you see there's dirt and lanolin. So what I do is I use Dawn and hot water, and I put some in a lingerie bag, and I wash it real good in the Dawn and hot water, and it comes out looking like this. Isn't that beautiful? So there's still some like hay and straw that stays in there after you wash it. It gets the lanolin and the dirt out, but it doesn't get the hay and some little pieces of trash out. So I pick it with my fingers, opening up all the locks, and then the dirt just falls out of it. And I use these hand carders. I use these hand carders, and I make Rolags. So something that looks like this. I make up a bunch of those, and then I spin them on my spinning wheel. I guess now I'll show you my acquisitions. I ordered Knit Picks Options short interchangeable needles in the Radiant Wood set. You might have seen in a previous podcast that I had bought the Knit Pick Majestic, the 5-inch needles, and I thought they were wonderful, mainly because they don't come unscrewed. And they also just feel good and comfortable in your hands because they're wood. So I decided to stick with the Knit Picks, and I needed a shorty set because I've got a shorty set of marbles, but they're not sharp enough. And I've got a shorty set of Addy clicks, but the cords come undone. And so I'm very dissatisfied with those. Very satisfied with my Knit Picks Majestic. 5-inch set. So this is so beautiful, the Radiant Wood set. Can you see how beautiful that is? So I really like these. I've got 16-inch cords that came with them, so I can use it to make hats. So for Mother's Day, I asked my husband to get me this set of Lucca crochet hooks. So these are not just the straight crochet hooks. These are interchangeable crochet hooks. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said interchangeable. I should have said Tennyson. They're a Tennyson set of crochet hooks. So they come with these indigo colored cords to match the indigo set of crochet hooks. They also come with end stoppers so that you can just use these as regular crochet hooks if you want to. I did a lot of research before I asked my husband to buy these for me, and these were the ones I wanted because the tip is sharp and goes easily into your stitches. So I used to crochet a lot, and I was really good at it. Then I learned how to knit, and I sort of became a knitting snob. I didn't want to go back to crochet. But since then, I have found so many patterns that are worthy of going back and committing myself to crochet. I asked my children to get me this book, Easy Crochet Dishcloths, and I've made a few dishcloths from this book. And you know, when you crochet dishcloths, the thing that's good about it is you get to see a short sampling of different types of stitches and different patterns. I also got the Crochet Stitch Dictionary and the Tennyson Crochet Handbook. I haven't picked out what I want to make out of here yet, but there's just not a lot of literature out there for Tennyson crochet, so I was a little disappointed at that. This is the only one I could find. If you know of any publications for Tennyson crochet patterns, please leave that information for me in the comments down below. So I was attending a knitters group at a local library quite frequently, and I was checking out books as I went, and some of them were I enjoyed them so much that I bought my own copy. So I bought the American Quilt Story, and let's see, it's by Susan Jenkins and Linda Seward. So see, not only do they have pictures of quilts, but they also have information about the piecing of the quilt. Yeah, I could keep myself busy with this book for a long time. Okay, Simple Tailoring and Alterations, J. Francois Campbell. And seams, waistband, hems, sleeves, pockets, cuffs, darts, tucks, fastenings, necklines, and linings. It's just a good how-to reference book for tailoring and alterations. Now this book was very interesting to me. I've checked it out a couple times at the library and finally ordered myself my own copy. The Gentleman's Wardrobe, Vintage Style Projects for the Modern Man by Vanessa Munchie. And not only does it go through how to make the different elements of a man's wardrobe, but in the back of the book there's an envelope, and inside of that envelope is a bunch of patterns. So this book comes with patterns, and it's not patterns on that thin tissue paper. It's on a very good stock of paper. Alright, I bought the complete manual of sewing, 120 visual lessons for beginners. And the reason that I bought this is because it goes into depth about different fabrics and suggests the ways to handle these different fabrics. Same thing with needles and materials. Yes, for example, materials woven, thickness, needle type, needle diameter, thread type, and thread weight are suggested. Okay, I also bought the Backyard Homestead, and what I like about this is I am a wannabe farmer, and this book explains how to be sustainable on different acreage. 1 acre, 3 acres, 5 acres, how to set up your land. I have not used this book yet. I thought it was wonderful though. The Amish Cook's Family Favorite Recipes by Lovina Eicher with Kevin Williams. So I have high hopes for myself when I bought this, that I would, hit a couple of the recipes. Well, now I think all I have left to talk about is the future of the channel. I would like to make a playlist in the near future of how I make socks. So there are many tutorials on the internet about how to make socks, but no one makes them exactly the same way that I make them. I make them in a way that makes sense to me, and in a way that holds up to wear. So I'll go step by step, all the way from choosing a yarn to make the sock out of, all the way through to casting off and blocking it. So it will be several videos on one playlist, and I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are too. If you like what you've seen today, please like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, bye-bye.